Hello, friends. Somehow it is December 31st. 2021 is just about through, and I don't know if I'm ready for it to be done. So, to get us ready for 2022, I have created a New Year's author tag, which I will be using today to go over my hopes and plans for the year ahead. Hello. So, as I said in my intro, which actually took me about 15 takes to film for some reason, end of year jitters, I don't know. This is a new tag created by me, and as one does with tags, at the end of this I will be tagging a few other AuthorTubers in the hopes that they'll let us know about their plans for the future as well. Now, I have a feeling I'm gonna ramble with this one, so let's just get into it. Where word count goals are concerned, I tend to only make those during NaNoWriMo, but I definitely have writing goals for the year ahead. 1. I am going to participate in Camp NaNoWriMo for the very first time. If you haven't heard of it before, Camp NaNoWriMo is a more relaxed version of NaNoWriMo. It happens in April and July, and you're not locked into that 50K word count or the expectation that you're working on a new novel. You can sort of hop in anywhere and set your goal, but you still get the community aspect of writing with a whole group of people doing the same thing roughly for a month. Due to some big plans in April, which I hope actually come to fruition now with the new lockdowns, I will be participating in the July camp. And I'm actually thinking of maybe going out to the country. I have a little place that I've stayed in before through Airbnb, or maybe find somewhere new just to sort of play up the theme and have fun with that. I think it could be really neat. What will I be working on though, you may ask? Well, I have 2 large, old projects. I know you've heard me talk about Centera before, but there's also one called Eternity, which aptly is taking an eternity to finish. So during camp, I will be finishing one of those. They are both so close to my heart and have been in my life for literal decades, and I'm really, really looking forward to giving them the effort and completion that they deserve. Which isn't to say if I finish one during camp, I won't do the other. I do plan on finishing both of those this year. That's another one of my goals. I am going to finish both of those older manuscripts, and then by the time NaNoWriMo in November rolls around, I will start another new draft. So yeah, I will be completing 3 manuscripts in 2022. So my thinking with this immediately jumps to NaNoWriMo, since that's kind of my thing. And that went almost perfectly this year. As I've said in my vlogs, I had wanted to get all of those little badges on the NaNoWriMo site, and I didn't. So my goal with NaNoWriMo is to basically do the same thing as I did this past year, except I am going to hit par every day, which means 1,667 words every day. While I wrote every day this past year, some days were like 300 and some days were like 3,000, so we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that this time around. Outside of November, the mistake that I made through the rest of the year was just not writing as much as I wanted to. I set myself up really well with NaNoWriMo, and I kept it going for a decent amount of time, but it really just sort of fell apart as the year wore on, and I think that that's something everyone faces, but I'm hoping to not do that this time. And since I already feel like I'm in the new writing year, since those sort of start in November for me, I have been making progress. I use Asana to set up all of my to-do lists and stuff, and I've made a new little list in there where I just write down how many words I write when I write. So it's not strict. I don't have a strict schedule right now, but it's in my head, and I have that list to make sure that I'm thinking about it more. Because I think when you just let yourself fly free, or for me anyway, when I let myself fly free without a proper schedule or anything, I'm gonna get distracted and do other things. So light scheduling, no flying free in 2022 with the writing. New genres? No, I mean, not that I'm not interested, because I am. I actually have a goal to do more reading outside of the fantasy genre this year and read more in general, so eventually I would like that to impact my writing as well. But for 2022, there are loose threads that I need to sew up, and they are all in the realm of fantasy, so I won't be straying too far this time around. Syntera is I guess it's a high fantasy epic. Eternity is contemporary fantasy, sci-fi, horror. It's a lot. And my NaNoWriMo novel, well, actually, I'm not sure about that one. I'm kind of assuming I will be writing the second book in the series that As Above, So Below is a part of. And that one explores sigil magic, but it is more of a secret society political thriller mysteries. So, but I still won't be writing anything that doesn't at least have an edge of fantasy to it. But I may be outlining something. You know how it goes. Through reading, I have been really focused on the fantasy genre my entire life, and I'd like to get outside of that more. And like I was saying, hopefully that will impact my writing as well. I also will just be reading more in general. The past few years have been pitiful, to say the least, and it's time to fix that. Also, I am going to conquer the short story. Short stories are something I have always had an aversion to, trouble with, and I've decided this is the year that I get my head around that. And I guess there is one more way that I'm going to be pushing my boundaries this year, but I can't talk about it yet. It's exciting though, writing related, but in a totally different direction than I'm used to working with, just in the way that the final product will be presented. Cryptic, I know, but I guess you'll just have to keep watching the channel to find out more, right? I need to edit As Above, So Below. And that's it. I don't want to pile too much work on my editor, so I'm gonna do what I usually do and run a couple edits through myself and then pass it off to her. That's what I did with my first year's NaNoWriMo novel, and that worked out really well, so I think it's a good system to keep up. I do. Aside from my constant search for an agent and a publisher for my larger manuscripts, I have been compiling a big list of magazines and other publications that will accept short stories. That's part of the pushing my creative boundaries bit. I know a lot of authors get their start publishing shorter works, and I feel like I've kind of deprived myself from this crucial part of the author path, or what I feel is crucial anyhow. So, yeah, wish me luck with that. Weekly videos. I dropped off about halfway through last year just because, without getting into it much, I was really discouraged. YouTube can be discouraging, especially when you are super introverted and you're already putting this huge effort into getting in front of the camera. It's not natural, it's not always fun, and then when you don't get what you're sort of hoping for, it's hard to keep doing it. But as someone who works on a video posting site in their day job, I'm aware of how important consistency is. So I will not be dropping off. Even though when I did come back after a break, I got this huge boost in the algorithm for my first 2 videos and like tons of subs. It was super weird. The YouTube algorithm is super weird. But the main thing is I am taking the focus on, subs and views and all that out of the equation. And I'm creating the content I want to create, and if it goes somewhere towards monetization, that'll just be a nice bonus. My other AuthorTube goal is more collabs and more community. I look at BookTube, which has its share of problems, right? But it's a larger community from my perspective anyway, and I would love to play a role in bringing AuthorTube together a bit more and creating a similar space on the internet for writers. AuthorTube retreat, anyone? Oh boy. I'd like to see the sponsored big company content disappear. I'm not gonna name names, but I love personal, creative videos from authors who are genuinely out to help their fellow creatives with inspiration and education from their very personal point of view. Not big companies trying to lure you in to use their services through videos that mimic those of other AuthorTubers. Vague? Maybe, but I bet you know exactly what I'm talking about. The first character I think of is Amiri from my Eternity series. He's bright and energetic, trendy in, an alternative way, empathetic. He would be the best for inclusivity, attitude, and energy, and just having his finger on the pulse of trends. Like, he'd be amazing at figuring out TikTok and making bite-sized content, which is something I've now tried and given up on multiple times. But he's super scattered and would never be able to stick to a schedule. Plus, if his boyfriend ever made cameos, they'd both get in a lot of trouble since his boyfriend is, always on some sort of substance and very prickly. Kira from Sinterra would be a little less energetic and more self-conscious, but I think she could stick to a schedule and she's already on social media a lot. She does doom scroll though and goes through depression spirals and would probably disappear without notice every few months. So honestly, I think the best would be a combination of the two. Amiri as the face and Kira managing him. Now I want to write a short story about that. Progress. I finally feel so confident about my writing that I'm willing to experiment and put myself out there in a real way that I just didn't feel okay with before. I'm going to be promoting my works at Calgary Fan Expo, presuming it still happens. And I'm already working on a really cool collaboration, that one that I said I can't talk about yet. I honestly feel like this will be the year of progress when it comes to writing for me. And that's my thoughts for 2022, and I think my camera's dying. This has been a disaster of a shoot, but I hope that you enjoyed it. As always, with resolutions, I feel like I'm going to accomplish everything I set out to do when I make these plans, but who knows how that'll progress, right? Either way, it will be documented on this channel. Now, as one is meant to do with tags, I'm gonna tag a few AuthorTubers to also answer these questions. First up is my friend Pavio of his channel Attention. If you haven't checked out his content, it's the perfect blend of educational and creative. If every AuthorTuber put as much care into the videos they create, well, I'd never stop watching AuthorTube. Pei has a habit of coming at tags in a really unique way, too. So I really look forward to seeing what he does with this one. Second is Kristen Leatherman. Kristen is an aspiring horror author and a vlogger who creates cute, helpful videos for fellow writers and readers. I came across her channel during NaNoWriMo when she stopped in to join some of my writing sprints, and I think if you enjoy my videos, you will definitely enjoy hers too. I think she's only done 1 or 2 tags before, so I hope she finds this one fun and gives it a shot. Last is Emily Olivieri. Like myself, she is both a writer and an artist. She works in the paranormal and fantasy genres, and recently was a finalist in the Page Turner Awards. On her channel, she runs a lot of great productivity streams and shares her writing experience and plans. Again, if you like my stuff, I'm sure you will like hers as well, so go check her out. I am crossing my fingers that all 3 of these talented AuthorTubers give my tag a shot, and I really look forward to seeing how their videos turn out. If you are a part of the community and I did not tag you, you can still do the tag. I'd love to see it, and if you do, please let me know and I'll link your video in the description down below. Before I head out, please remember to check out my Discord server. We're slowly growing a really nice, supportive community there, and I'm sure you'll enjoy chatting with us and participating in sprints. If you want highlighted roles and access to secret channels, you can sign up for my Patreon, which I have recently revamped and rescheduled. So there are a lot of great rewards over there for you to check out, and I post on Patreon every Thursday. Both links are in the description below, as always. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell button so you actually get notified when I post new content, leave a comment, and hey, if you're shy, maybe you can do the tag that way. And of course, last one for 2021, I hope that you are having a day that is just as wonderful as you are. See you in 2022! I will be completing 3 manuscripts in 2021. Nope. In 2022. Or for me, anyway. When I let myself fly free, fly free without a proper schedule. But for 2020, the buses are so loud. So I honestly feel, oh my God, you're so loud, shut up. Say hi, Tony. This is Tony. I call him Chonka Truck because he runs around through the apartment like a noisy truck, and he's a chonk. His two mummies have left him and his brother, who is very shy, with us for a few days while they go visit family, and they're really helping with the grief. It's so nice to have them here, isn't it? No, you can't go there. You can't go there. You can go on the floor, though.